think all the way back to the book of Genesis, in chapter number 3, we have a perfect picture of that, where Adam and Eve, the first created humans, living in the perfect place, Garden of Eden, walking with God in the cool of the day. They had it made. They had everything that they could possibly want, and yet they go to this tree, the one place that God said, don't go, don't eat. They go there, and they do, and they eat. And immediately something happens in their life. They realize that they are exposed. And so it's interesting the way you see it play out in the text, because they immediately recognize that they're what? They're naked. That they're naked. And you're like, that's an odd thing for you to first realize. They're feeling this sense of exposure, and the only thing they can attribute it to is their nakedness. And so they go and they take fig leaves and they cover themselves, right? That's the exact same thing you and I do with our sin, is we try to hide it. We try to conceal it from the rest of the world and from everyone else because we don't want to be seen. And now maybe your fig leaves look a little bit different than the fig leaves that they used. Maybe you hide behind an image that you've created for yourself, that you've kind of propped up there. Maybe you feel a little bit like the guy who's calling all the shots in The Wizard of Oz. You're behind that curtain and you're speaking into the microphone, and everybody sees the image that you want them to see, but in reality, you're just hiding in the darkness. Maybe you were the class clown. Maybe you hid behind your humor. You know what? When things get a little bit too serious, you're going to throw some humor in there because you don't know how to deal with it, and you try to conceal what you're doing behind that wall of humor. Maybe that's the case. Maybe you try to conceal yourself behind the facade of control. That you've got to keep everything in place where it's supposed to be, keeping it tight, keeping it tidy so that you can then still hide. Maybe control is the thing that you hide behind. Maybe that's the fig leaf there. But let me ask you one more. Is there a chance? Is there a chance that you hide behind the fig leaf of religion? Do you hide behind the fig leaf of you being a righteous individual? But in reality, you know where you actually are. You know how distant you are from the things of God. See, we don't like being exposed. We like to try to hide. And that's where this passage here today, these two short verses, are going to come into that hiding place in your life. It's going to sit down with you, and it's going to expose some things, and that's going to be really difficult. But it's not only going to expose things, it's going to bring great comfort.